Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. So today we will learn about secure SFTP setup using AWS Transfer Family. So as you know, AWS Transfer Family offers fully managed support for secure file transfer protocol, enabling easy and secure file transfer directly into and out of Amazon S3. So today we will walk you through setting up an SFTP server using AWS Transfer Family, covering everything from IAM configuration to user isolation, file transfer and log verification. So first, let's see the prerequisites. You should have an AWS account, then IAM permissions to create S3 bucket, role and AWS transfer family resource, and also FileZilla installed on local system. So our first step is create an Amazon S3 bucket. So for that, you need to sign into your AWS management console. Then we will follow the steps to create S3 bucket. So I will just show you the practical. So we are already signed in our Amazon console. So let's go to S3. Now here we will create a bucket. Select bucket type with general purpose. Then enter a bucket name. SFTP transfer bucket, something like that. Then we will keep the default setting as it is. So now select the bucket. Now inside it, we will create some folder for our practical purpose. First, we will create a public folder. Then we will also create restricted folder. Okay, so as you can see, both of our folders are created successfully. So now our next step is create an IAM role for AWS Transfer Family. So inside the IAM, we will create a role which will and we will attach a policy to it, which is Amazon S3 full access, which will give us access to S3 bucket. So search for IAM dashboard. I will open it in another tab. So here it is. Now here, go to roles from access menu. Then here we will create a role. Select trusted entity type as AWS service. Then service use case search for transfer. Here it is. Click on next. Now to add permission, search for Amazon S3 full access. Select this policy and click on next. Now here you need to enter the role name. AWS transfer S role. Role and click on create role. So now our role is created. Here you can see AWS Transfer S3 access role. Now our next step is create the SFTP-enabled server in AWS Transfer Family. So for that, first we will navigate to the AWS Transfer Family service in the AWS Manager. Then in it, we will create a server with SFTP protocol. So let's do it. Search for AWS Transfer Family. This will create an actual SFTP endpoint that the users will connect to. So click on create server. We will use protocol as SFTP. Then next, sorry. Then identity provider will be service managed. This will mean that AWS Transfer Family will store your user identities and SSH key directly. Then endpoint configuration, you will select publicly accessible. Click on next. Then domain will be Amazon S3. In login, we will create a new log group, or you can choose existing log group you have. Then we will keep rest of the default setting as it is. Now here you can review, like as you can see, we have protocol SFTP, identity provider service managed, endpoint type public, and domain S3. So let's create a server. So here it is starting. It may take some time to get the server online. So in the meantime, we will generate a SSH key pair. So our next step is generate SSH key pair. For that, you need to open terminal command prompt or PowerShell. And then in it, first we will configure the AWS CLI using AWS configure command. So to configure AWS here, you should have access key and secret key to your IAM role. Then give the region name where your S3 bucket is present. Okay, so now my AWS is configured. You can also verify by running AWS STS get seller caller -identity command. So as you can see, my AWS is configured successfully. Now next, we will create a .ssh directory. So let's create a directory. Our directory is also created successfully. Now we will generate a SSH key pair. Okay, so now both our private key and public key is generated successfully. Now our next step is add a user to the SFTP server. So you need to go back to your AWS Transfer Family console. Then inside it, we will create a user. So this is the AWS Transfer Family. Okay, so it's online. Now click on it. Scroll down. So as you can see, apparently, okay, just wait a minute. There are no users. We have SFTP users. So we will just add a user here. Okay, you need to add the user configuration. First, we will give the username, option. Then you need to choose a role which we have created. AWS Transfer S3 access role. Policy, Then here in the home directory, choose an S3 bucket, which is my SFTP transfer bucket. And here you can enter the optional folder. So we will write first here, here folder. So here you will give the path to the folder you want to restrict the user to. So my user will be restricted to this folder only. It cannot access the public folder which is in the same MySFTP transfer bucket. So we will see it and make sure to check on this restricted checkbox. This is really important to check the restricted checkbox. This ensures the user cannot navigate outside the restricted folder, as I told you. Now here we need to enter the SSH public keys. So for that, to open a public key, we will use this command. Here we need to enter your Windows name. Mine is there. Okay, so this is our public key. Let's copy it and paste it here. We'll just take this up. Now click on add. So here, as you can see, our user DevOps is created successfully with the role AWS Transfer S3 protocol. Now our next step is connecting and test file transfer. So first we need to get the server endpoint. So let's go back here, and this is our server endpoint in AWS Transfer Family. Let's copy it and I will store it right here. Then next, let's run this command. Here we will give our endpoint. Let me just copy it. So make sure to give your username which you have created. DevOps. I have created DevOps. So I will make sure to give the full path to the key. This is your private key which we are using. Now here you can see the SFTP prompt upon successful connection, just like this. Now next we will create a dummy file locally. So go back here. Yeah, see it right, user and then. So let's create a new file here. On a notepad. So I forgot to give the so, so this is our sample file. Then we will run this command to upload. I uploaded successfully. You can see that by running the ls command. Let's run. You can also verify by going to S3 bucket inside the restricted folder. So here, as you can see, our test upload.txt file is added successfully, uploaded successfully. Now alternatively, you can also connect to the SFTP server using FileZilla. So first, we will open a FileZilla. Okay, I already have it. Now let's follow the steps to perform the same procedure. Okay. Go to File, then Site Manager. So now we will create a new site here. Let's name it so here inside, choose the protocol as SFTP. Then you need to enter your server endpoint here as your host. Sorry, here inside file, enter the server endpoint in the host. Then port will be 22. Login type key5 user. So enter the user which you have created. in AWS Transfer Family. For the key file, we need to enter the private key. So search for all files here. By default, it search for PPT files. So inside your PC, cd OSC user dev and .ssh directory which we have created. We should get the private key. Now click on connect. Press this first and carry on connecting. Check this box and okay. So as you can see, the status is connected. MET1 retrieved the directory listing, and here you can see the test upload.txt file which we have loaded to our PowerShell. Now here we can also upload file. So I will just create a random file from the supposing new volume. Let's again use this file. Transfer something like that. Okay. Now let's save this file. Here the new volume name will be AWS Transfer Family. Okay. So the file is created. Now go back to FileZilla. Now we will go to new volume. Scroll down. So you can just select the file and drag it from your local site. Here you can see, drag it to remote site and it will be uploaded. So our AWS transfer family.txt is also uploaded. You can just go back to your S3 bucket and refresh it. So here you can see AWS transfer family is uploaded successfully. Now our next step is verifying access restriction. So from the SFTP prompt, we will try to navigate to the root directory or parent directory. First we will have cd space dot command. So this command is used to get outside one directory. Now run ls. So as you can see, it's still showing us files which are present. It is not exited outside the restricted directory, restricted folder. We can enter this and see it stayed inside that folder. So why this happened? Because we have restricted its access to the restricted folder. And if you remember, when we did it in AWS Transfer Family, while we are creating the user, so it will prevent it from accessing the order or the folder which is public folder the files inside it. Now our last step is monitoring logs in CloudWatch. So let's go to CloudWatch, search for it, inside the search bar. Okay. So here it is. So here inside the logs, go to logs groups. Our log group is created. Just click on it. So you can see the log step which is created here. So let's go inside it. So here you can see the logs which are generated are inside this log group. You will see the entire successful SSH connection here, authentication, then also file transfer operations, create, truncate, write, and connection attempts also. And if any error happen, it will also appear here. You can see the role AWS Transfer S3 access role and also activity type connected using SSH public key. And we have uploaded test upload.txt file to my SFTP transfer bucket restricted folder. Its full path is written here. And also when we close the connection, it's showing here. And it must be also showing, yes, through FileZilla, we have uploaded the AWS Transfer Family file. So it's also showing logs for that. And when we are disconnected. So today we have successfully set up the secure and fully managed SFTP server using AWS Transfer Family. And by leveraging this service, you can avoid the complexities of managing the server infrastructure. And you can securely transfer files directly into your Amazon S3 bucket. As we have seen here, you can also see the logs in CloudWatch, and this provides a robust and efficient solution for your file transfer needs. You can even restrict it to the specific folder, and you can monitor all this activity through CloudWatch logs. So that's all for today, guys. Thank you.